That's a very fluid question. It's aspirational, it's ambitious. We're estimated to be about 250 million Nigerians, right? And I guarantee you that as many as Nigerians that are out there, obviously have their own ideas of, the kind of country we want. The young people want a country that works for them, that there won't be any need for them to jump out, And then the elderly people, the senior citizens, what the situation, want a country that recognizes that they have served and that the labors of our heroes are not in vain. And of course, an average person will want to be rewarded for every work done. People want jobs, people want public infrastructure to work, and of course, the biggest monster in the room, people want corruption to go down. So that if we're less corrupt, there's no society that is totally free of corruption. But the expectation is that we have a country where corruption will be at an all-time low, and then basically a country that works, that protects us. An American comes back home, and what they say at the immigration department is, welcome back home. How many Nigerians feeling at home here? More people are jumping ship and leaving. So I believe that a good Nigeria will mean, of course, better safety, can travel in safety, can be more secure. So it's a very, very wide, ambitious thing, very aspirational. But it doesn't mean that it can be achieved. Sure, it can be achieved with the power of will, it can be done.
Thank you, sir. So, as young people, what do you think we can do to change Nigeria to a better Nigeria that people out there can come back and feel safe at home?
It's going to be a very tough one, and I'm being very honest. If you want me to say sweet things, I won't, it will be very difficult. A whole lot of Gen Zs and Generation X and all of those people, an average Nigerian the guys between the ages of 35, let me say 40, down to 30, down to 5, they don't believe in this country anymore. And before you take a medicine and put it in your mouth and swallow it, the first thing first is that you believe that drug will work for you. Unfortunately, not too many young people believe in Nigeria. I mean, you know this thing that they say on the streets, Nigeria don't happen to you, and if anything bad happens to anybody, what people get to hear is what people say, the street lingo is, Nigeria has happened to you. They snatch your car on the street, Nigeria don't happen to this person. He's looking for a job, they can't get it, Nigeria don't happen to him, and all of that. So, the first thing first is to believe in this country. And I have spoken to somebody about this before. You can't decree belief. When those guys who believe in Ifa, they go like, Ifa Oloko Asorodayo. It's because they believe in Ifa. Ifa must be seen to have delivered. They must have done incantations before, and then incantations must work. So you can't decree it by fiat to say, okay, believe in Nigeria. Patriotism surely has drivers. But patriotism has things that fuels it. So if you're going to believe in Nigeria, you must see Nigeria from this perspective. And I believe that this administration seems to be on track. I want to believe that I've been Ashwaju for a bit, for almost 28 years now. And I know Ashwaju is very easy fighter, and I've written articles about it, about the war in the background, So when people begin to see that the dollar, for instance, is not falling, or the naira is not falling against the naira with the way we've seen them in the past 2, 3 months, 4, 5, 6 months ago, then people can say, what's going on here, And then you see the greatest attraction for people living abroad is not only the physical infrastructure that abounds abroad. It is more like once I put a 1,000 pound or put a dollar bill on the table, I get 17,000 naira, I get 16,000 naira. If we fight to a situation where we get our naira, and that would require a lot of fight, If we fight to a situation where we can get a naira to exchange for the dollar at 80 naira, 95% of the guys abroad will run back. I guarantee you. It's not because there is light, there is power, no. Most of the people who have left this country, the young people, are economic refugees. And so, for you to get Nigeria, for young people to begin to believe in Nigeria, there are critical indices that you must look out for. I just cited the example of the dollar. The naira must be shored up, must be given a lot of value, and that is to the extent that you can produce. If your production goes up and all of that, and you're not an import-dependent economy, then there's a reason for you to stay behind. And then people can create jobs, and people can earn money. And of course, when you don't go up never anymore, Nigeria can begin to, you turn your tap, water runs. I grew up in this country. In my early years in this country, you turn the tap in my village, for instance, and you put your head under the shower, under the tap. The tap is almost cracking your head. It sounds like fairy tale today. That's another side. You come to a situation where the Nigerian passport has a life of its own, okay? Where you put the Nigerian passport on the table and nobody is asking for visas, or they're asking you for visas at the point of entry. Those are the kind of things that could make young people believe in Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So,
but by no means, that's not exhaustive. A whole lot of things. Yeah.
All right. So, leadership. A lot of things is centering around leadership. How can we improve leadership in Nigeria?
Improve leadership. That's another aspirational talk. You see, leadership is also a function of followership. Every leader that you have faulted today, you made them leaders. Most of them didn't force or coerce you to be your leaders. How many of you know your local government chairman? How many of you know your House of Rep members? How many of you know your senators? If you don't even know them, so how do you tell the person you voted for at the last election that is if you voted? The concept of leadership is not nebulous, it's very tangible. You can relate to it. What has reputation got to do with leadership? You vote for a man who you know that is incorrigible. You vote for a man who you know doesn't care. You vote for a man that has nothing to show that these are what he has done, these are the things he has done with his own life. And you put that man in the position, you think that man is going to come after you, you think he's going to live up to your expectation. To improve leadership, followership must get it right. Because followership is more than leadership. The guys who are following, the number of guys in the followership bracket, they are more than the guys in the leadership bracket. So you need to go back to the pool where leaders emerge from, and then make sure that leaders also are product of a very, very passing through the crucible of society, of a good society. If you don't do that, my brother, my sister, forget it. Nothing will happen. It will just be just the same aspirational giants like you were saying.
Okay. So our annual I Am a Nigerian conference is coming up in May, 24th May this year. And the theme this year is Reimagine Nigeria, from challenges to opportunities. So, we would love it if you endorse the conference.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, say what you will. I am a Nigerian, I believe in Nigeria, but it will take a lot of work. I like the fact that this administration is fighting. I sense that in the background, I sense the fight. Now talking about your conference, we can't stop talking. We can't stop talking. If we want a society that will eventually work and deliver for everybody, we must talk, we must engage. If we don't engage peacefully, we will engage violently. When people have no trust and faith in the country, that is when they have recourse to agitation for Oduduwa Republic, Indigo Republic, and all. There are nations all over the world where people have different. India has so many tribes, but they sit together. Yes, Pakistan pulled out at some point. The United Kingdom that you talk about today, there is Scots, there is Welsh, there is all of those things. So Nigeria can get it right, but it's going to be a big fight. And the point is that if you're expecting the guys in the upper bracket and civil responsibility exclusively to them, it's going to be a tough call. You guys have to brace your boots and let's go for it. Nigeria is worth the fight, honestly. It's a very beautiful country with great potentials, great possibilities, great prospects. But gold is found deep down in the heart. You have to go deep for it. That's what you have to do when you want to reimagine Nigeria from what we have to do to where we have to go.
Thank you.